The G20 summit is around the corner and the Indian capital is readying itself for the event. Over 40 heads of state and government are set to travel to New Delhi for the summit, but the Russian president is not going to be among them. Instead, he will be represented by his foreign minister. In a conversation with WION The World, Russia's ambassador to India, Indias Alipov, said the current situation does not permit the Russian president to travel for the G20 summit. Watch.
India-Russia relationship is a strong relationship. It is seen as a factor of stability at a time of great geopolitical flux. With me is the Russian ambassador to Delhi. So welcome to WION. And my first question to you is on the G20 summit. India is going to host the summit in less than 10 days now. How do you see India's presidency of the G20 grouping and the issues India has raised?
Thank you, Siddhant, for inviting me. We regard the Indian presidency in the G20 grouping as one of the most significant developments and events of the current year. We have been very closely engaged with the Indian presidency and with the member countries on the agenda that India has proposed, have come out very strongly in support of the priorities of the Indian presidency. On all the issues, we support the focus of the group and of the presidency of India in the grouping towards elevating the role and enhancing the potential of the so-called global south in world affairs, in global governance. This is something that India stresses, and we fully support her actions in this direction. We have supported the initiative to make the African Union a full-time member of the G20. There are various topical issues on the agenda, like the climate change, like the global governance, the governance and global finances, like the tackling of various crises in the world, in the economic sphere, in climate, as I say, tackling the debt burden that has been very substantial, especially as regards the developing world. We hail and support the initiatives as regards the such spheres and areas like digitalization, something that India puts focus on, like regulation and regulation of digital currencies, like startups, support. And so we appreciate the proposals and the initiatives that India has put forward, and have been very supportive of them, and are very hopeful that I would even put it like we're convinced that the presidency will be a very successful one.
The Russian president will not be present in person, and the Russian foreign minister will be present, something we saw at the Bali summit as well. So what's the reason that the Russian president is not present in person? Because the relationship is quite good as well, and I'm pretty sure that there must be a lot of hopes here in Delhi that we could see the visit of the Russian president. And there are reports saying the Russian president is traveling to China for the BRI summit in October. So if you can talk about that as well.
I'm not aware of his plans to travel elsewhere, be it China or some other country. We'll know about that in due course. But I'm not aware of any such plans at the moment. As far as the G20 summit is concerned, we're looking forward to President Putin's participation in the summit. Had accepted the invitation with gratitude. Yesterday, as you know, there was a telephone conversation between our leaders, and my president explained to the Prime Minister the motives and the reasons that made him unable to come in person. We appreciated such an opportunity to directly convey to the Indian Prime Minister the reasons for which the presidents would stay back. Obviously, the situation, the current situation, doesn't permit the president to travel, and he's required.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.